I have a deep obsession with Apple as a company. I don't necessarily stan them. I actually think there's so much that you can criticize them for, and part of what I love to do is to criticize Apple. While I think they make some tremendous products, I think that either they're all great or they're all terrible is a really misled take to have about them. They are the most financially wealthy company on planet Earth. They do so many things really well, but specifically what I'm most interested in is their marketing. I think they have some of the most polished, some of the most effective, and some of the most influential marketing tactics in technology and potentially in consumerism altogether. But there is one thing specifically that drives me nuts about the way they sell their products. And it's not even that it doesn't work or that it isn't effective, because if it wasn't, they wouldn't do it, but it drives me bananas.
It has our most powerful Pro chip and our most advanced camera system.
This iPhone has the most powerful core chip in an iPhone ever. The most advanced camera in an iPhone ever. Why even bother saying that? Of course it is. When is there going to be an Apple event where they were like, you know what, guys? We decided to actually take a step backwards with the technology. Use some metrics. Is it the best phone battery ever? Because one thing that Apple doesn't like to do is they do not like to state benchmarks. They don't like to tell you how long an iPhone will last or the battery in an Apple Watch will last. The only time I've ever seen them actually state how long a battery will last is in the AirPods. You do not need to tell me that this is the most advanced iPhone ever. I hope it is. I hope it is. Because if not, you have a very serious conversation to have with your stockholders and, frankly, your consumers in general. They have absolutely taken steps back in things. They've removed certain technologies from their devices over the years. One that comes to mind is the 3D Touch. The phone screens used to be pressure sensitive, and they removed that feature. I don't really know why. My only assumption would be that it just wasn't utilized enough by the developers or the consumer, and they figured no one would care. They've removed ports. Famously, they were the first ones to remove the 3.5 millimeter phone jack, like the aux cord jack. It was really just to sell more, Bluetooth headphones. And inevitably at this time, I don't think anybody is super duper duper missing that phone jack. Even if you do on some occasions, I think you're probably in the minority at this point, because everything pairs Bluetooth. One criticism that people give to iPhone that I also kind of am bothered by is when everybody says how incremental their change is. And I've never really had a great way to sort of come back to that. But the fact of the matter is that the phone wars have plateaued, so there's really no demand for them to come to the plate and bust out all their best technologies. There are people who are just going to get a new phone every year. I thought MKBHD made a great comparison where he compared it to car manufacturers. Every year the Nissan is marginally different than the year prior, and their expectation is not that everyone goes out and buys a new car, but there is a certain demographic that will do that, and then the rest of the demographic will just be really impressed by all the bells and whistles they've added since the previous 10-year version. So even though the changes are incremental, it does make a difference over time, and that's just how everything is developed. I mean, there's no giant water bottle technology being announced, but people don't criticize almost any other product for coming out and not making a change. When they make a new version, they just make some tiny little change, but those tiny little changes add up over time. And the only reason why I would suspect you care when it comes to iPhone is because their marketing is so bold and loud and overconfident, and that's just what they have to be in order to sell you $1,000 iPhone. That being said, stop with the battery life thing. Stop with the most advanced blank ever. It drives me insane. I just wanted to get that off my chest because I was watching some stuff on the Apple keynote.